Hello, chat. All right. Let's see here.
All right, it's about that time.
What do I do?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Say Jason Derulo.
Jason
Say it.
Derulo.
Beautiful. This is art, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Oh, let me see where would I find one Michael Minotti with his camera. Let's see here.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm busy tweeting about our show.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're so responsible.
Show me your tweeting face, please.
I'm gonna show you my titty face.
That's it. I didn't say that. I see
Wow,
tweeting
I know.
face.
I'm a funny guy.
I mean, if you want to show me that face too, I'm not gonna complain.
There's mine.
Show it on the stream. Give it for free.
Oh yeah. Hang on, let me see here. Titty face. There you go. All right.
There we go.
Dun, 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 dun. Now I fucking had that stupid.
I like your shirt. I saw that shirt.
Thank you.
I couldn't chat on chat. I was busy.
It's
like it's a good shirt.
It's blowing up my Discord there. Let me mute that shit.
I have freaking His World stuck in my head now from Sonic 06. Of all things. Wait, Jeff, can you turn? I want to see my face in the thing. I need to make sure. I have a blemish I'm self-conscious of. I want to see how bad it looks. So I need to see if I put
Yeah, I'm cutting to it now.
Let's
you'll be able to see it in the feed here momentarily. Not probably.
Turns out
almost instantaneously.
It turns out you can't see it at all on here. There's the bathroom mirror. It looked like I had a molten volcano on my face. In here, you can't tell.
Stream. All right, whatever.
Was that a boxed lunch or whatever that place is called shirt?
No, this is an animeape.com.
Wow.
And hey,
you are an anime ape.
What do you want me to do about it? All right, hello, this is the volume I talk at. Mike, what do you talk at?
Not quite that obnoxious of a volume, unless I get pretty upset.
And that is only mere seconds away, I'm sure. Okay, I'm gonna do that. This is my volume now. Okay.
How does Mike sounds on the stream?
Gamefire Cure Bearder says Jeff is wearing Jack Black. That's right.
Funny.
Okay, your name is Mike Minotti.
Jack Black looks cozy. If I ever were somebody, it's going to be Jack Black.
That's fair.
It might not be Jack Black.
Oh yeah, there was Resident Evil stuff. Did you watch any of that, Mike?
Resident Evil.
Did you not? Because I kind of had to skim through it.
I watched some of it.
I watched some of it.
It looks good.
I kind of left it up to Rachel to look. Yeah, I mean, it looks very good. I saw it.
It looks good. That's it. There you have it. Your update.
Cool. All right.
If you buy the PlayStation 4, you get the PlayStation 4 version. You get the PlayStation 5 version for free. The update.
You know what's hilarious is that there is a box version of the last PlayStation 4 release of Resident Evil 4, which is just the remastered original. So you could get both of them, and both of them will just say Resident Evil 4 on the spine. You can put them next to each other on your shelf. That just sounds beautiful to me.
No, that's the future. That's the dystopic future we live in.
I just love it. I'm actually a big fan.
We couldn't have Gundams. Instead, we have endless remakes. We choose the wrong tech tree.
The wrong tech
on the
tree.
Civ.
Mike Minotti.
You guys heard the music?
Mike and Jeff.
Sure did, dude.
All
Mike
right.
and Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
On the game is.
Did you remember to figure out how to save your settings, or are you figuring all that out again?
Honestly, everything should be saving, and yet I'm still having to do it. I can't remember if it's because that problem happened and then we did this podcast. But if I fixed it last week after this happened, it all got wiped again, and there's no reason that should happen. So it's some bullshit. I have no idea. I'm very pissed about it, actually.
Wow.
Okay.
It sounds like I should stop poking him about it then.
No, it's fine.
Blow up at me.
It's fine. I'm gonna have to just deal with it.
I'll deal
Stop
with
it,
you.
chat.
Let's see.
Oh dear. They just announced Mario Party 1 and 2 for N64 NSO.
Oh shit.
Okay, well at least
Wait, what they do?
That sounds painful.
What they
Apparently,
do?
Mario Party 1 and 2 just got announced for NSO for.
It's
What?
gonna have multiplayer, online multiplayer,
Let
isn't
me
it?
see.
Yes.
Are they making up for like not getting one last week by getting these really fast? And
What?
also,
Wait, no,
Okay.
we had pilot wings, right? What's happening?
yeah. So what? So yeah, but we did, but we didn't have anything in September.
Oh, we didn't.
And now
Okay.
on November 2nd, we're getting Mario Party 1 and 2. So that's assuages the fears that like they're gonna slowly dole out 3 Mario Party games over the course of 3 months. Thank God.
Okay. Yes, that is something.
This is good.
All right.
This is
Let's.
good news,
fuck.
Jeff.
Yes,
This
is.
means Chef's gonna have to play 50 turns of that game.
I mean, that was going to happen eventually, anyhow. Okay. Let's see here. I think I got everything. I got a tweet, but then I think we're good to go.
Yeah. That's some obscure character from the 20s. Don't worry about who's on my shirt.
Yeah, nobody knows that character.
No one knows.
If it was Mario, maybe.
I don't want to make fun of Dan. I don't want the people on the giant
You're
bomb Reddit
being
to say
too
I'm
mean to him.
What are you guys talking about? I think like it's actually gone too far, and I think they're really actually very mean to each other. It makes me very uncomfortable. Like, have you guys ever actually had a real friend?
Well.
Oh, imagine what they think with like if they ever listen to this and like listen how we treat Chef.
Threatened to kill
Yeah,
Chef
for
with
real.
a
Like
wood
it's
chipper on
abusive
Twitter.
relationship. Not
Yeah.
even the most like him.
I literally threatened to murder Jeff, put him into a wood chipper, and then put the remains into a Game Boy Color backpack today. And it was, I considered that a good friendship interaction.
That's just Friday.
It's just Friday.
Batman is dead.
What else would be dead? I don't know.
Jeff Grubb is dead.
I was with Saints Row, which by the way, remember Saints Row? When that happened, I was like, I bet the game's not doing well, and then it's not going to do well because of the bad reviews. And then it like did okay in the NPD, but then also like, later like, they came out and said, yeah, it's not doing well. So I don't know.
Yep.
It's weird how. I guess I should say this talk for the show. I'll say that's this
Yeah, let's do
the
it.
show.
Which we could start right now
Start
if you're
this
ready.
shit.
I am ready. I've tweeted. I've got stream moments open. I'm looking
I'm
good.
talking
and
at this
sounding
level,
good
and this is just
feeling
good. And I'm going to just turn you down. There we go. All right. I'm going to count us in. I think we're ready. Here we go. 5, 4, 3. The internet, you're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Games MS Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is...
Minotti.
My God, your voice was so musical there that your sound catcher stopped your voice from actually coming through.
It's like, whoa, that's not Mike Minotti. That's the voice of an angel.
Yes, exactly. We need to block this. The people cannot handle this. It is basically the voice of God, and your brain will explode. Today's episode, we have Silent Hill being alive, we have Batman being dead, and I'm somewhere in between.
Man, what a week, Jeff.
Yes.
Can you believe that Bayonetta discourse, which just felt like this whole thing with multiple acts, that started on Sunday?
Yes.
And that already feels like
So
this episode.
Exactly. It was so long ago. I'm glad it was so cleanly cut off in terms of we are done talking about this. You cannot talk about it anymore.
Yes,
and I very happily did not put it on the outline for today's episode. But yeah, that feels like forever ago. Absolutely. This was a long week, and it probably didn't help that was Sunday and sort of took over everything on Sunday. So everyone got engaged with video game news again one day earlier. To make up for the short week a couple of weeks ago, I guess, whatever. But yeah, how you doing, Mike? It was a long week, but you were able to handle it?
Yeah, I got very tired today. I even tapped out, right? If I was going to watch the Resident Evil thing, I was going to be out there hours for me. And I was like, I'm so tired. I need to pass out. You guys can watch this. I think it's just going to be a Resident Evil 4 trailer, which will be cool.
Basically
but not
was, I
super
guess.
newsy. And it was. There were
Yep.
some things about reverse there, which is like double interesting now since those people are also making a Silent Hill game. But yeah, it was just a busy week. Not a bad week or anything, but it was just busy, Jeff. So trying kind of getting used to this again. And like I have travel imminent, so I'm like thinking about all that too. And there's a lot going on. Can't complain though.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's fun to have a lot, but we got done doing the voicemail dump truck today, and we're like, man, that was a long day. And then we were done. I'm like, oh, I guess we could have done the Resident Evil thing. I'm glad we didn't, though. There wasn't much there.
Yeah, nah, there wasn't anything for you guys to talk over.
I'll talk about it on Game this morning tomorrow.
What is there to say except really, we'll talk about a bit. It looks very good.
Yeah, exactly. That's almost going to be exactly what we say. Let's get into this. Thank you, everybody for joining us. You can get more from Mike and me by joining the Discord at GameMess.net. If you want to ask us a question, you can drop a super chat during the show on YouTube using the super chat function right there in the chat window. Thank you to Carlos Ain, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. We are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, and wherever pods are caught. Give us a good rating wherever you are listening. Hit that like button on YouTube, please. That really helps people find the show. Thank you.
Hit it, damn you.
Hit it, damn you. Thank you to our mods. And you can support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to the private channels in my Discord. Gets you the monthly Q&A. Gets you the Jeopardy game we're recording very soon. You can watch that live a month before anyone else gets to see it. It's a good time. So
we got that. We got our Alan Wake discussion will be starting soon. We're going to start voting for next month's game. One of the games we're going to be concerned for next month's Game S Game Club is Guardians of the Galaxy. So I feel like it's going to be a popular choice. I don't even know what the other two choices would be, but Guardians of the Galaxy is a possibility for next month, and people have been asking for that.
Yeah. Also, the podcast producers channel, it's where we take a lot of feedback. It's where we do make a lot of these decisions. It's where you can submit questions for the show. You could submit questions that we have to answer on Jeopardy. So if you want to be more engaged, that's the place to do it. And you could also join by hitting the join button right here on YouTube if that's an easier option for you. All right, Mike, I've got a few things I want to talk about here. I'm actually going to go off script a little bit and just sort of recap something I touched on a little bit today, but I saw my friend Besbin Bolden in the chat, and that's a good Star Wars resource, a lot of Star Wars news out of Besbin Bolden, and I looked into what's going on with Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That game's supposed to come out in March, right? And we haven't heard anything about it, and people are starting to worry. I've actually started getting a handful of messages from people who are like, hey, Jeff, you usually talk about this. We haven't heard anything about it. What's going on with it? So I looked into it today, and that game is still coming out in March. You can relax on that front. As of today, there are still no plans to delay that game. So it's kind of weird we're not hearing about it, right? But kind of think about the way EA's been with their announcements recently. Very short announcement periods, or marketing periods where those campaigns really kick off in earnest. Just think about Need for Speed. That's going to be a 1-2 month sort of thing. It's going to be it's going to be longer for Star Wars Jedi Survivor, but it's going to kick off in December, and I bet you can guess what's happening in December, where it will kick off at. So
yeah, it's worth pointing out. So according to EA officially, this does not have a release date or a release window.
Yes,
but when they're talking to investors, they said they had a big game coming out in March, and Jeff knows that it is Jedi Survivor. So
yes. What was the other one? It was that Koei Tecmo game. That was the EA Partners game or whatever, and then there's the big IP game, which they still have not named, but it is Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor coming out in March, coming out this fiscal year. So,
Jeff, it is just, and we're going to be talking about this a bit, it is getting pretty exciting how big next year's going to be for like the big AAA games. This year, I've been playing a lot of games that I like. I've been finding a lot of good games to play and really enjoy. Not a lot of them have been those big kind of AAA-y things. A lot of those have actually kind of come out and disappointed this year. But next year, we're going to have Jedi Survivor, Final Fantasy 16 looking amazing, Resident Evil 4 looking amazing, Street Fighter 6 looking amazing, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2. It's going to be banana bonkers years. It might be one of those, mythical years that we talk about. Can you believe how good of a year 1998 was? Or this, that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Starfield next
I mean,
year, too.
not just, I mean,
Jeez.
ideally a bunch of Xbox games, Starfield, Redfall, but some of those other ones we've been waiting, Hellblade 2, and then maybe a handful of others. Yeah, it's going to be a big year for video games across the board, and it's lining up to be that, like, it kind of has to be. We've been putting off so much stuff for so long. We're due. It's at a point
Some of
where
the stuff will get delayed, but I think most of it is gonna, especially that, like, I think Final Fantasy 16, like Resident Evil 4, Street Fighter 6, Tears of the Kingdom, that stuff seems pretty safe. Knock on wood. Starfield probably coming out next year if they're already getting delayed. So yeah, exactly.
It's just at a point where so much stuff had to deal with so much stuff throughout the pandemic and through talent shortages. They're basically at the end of the rope, at the end of their development periods, and almost no matter what, those games that you listed, many of them are actually going to come out. And if a good portion of them are, live up to their expectations, going to be a very good year. Kind of hard to get excited about what's left for the rest of this year when next year's actually when it's really going to go down. But I am at the point where something like Gotham Knights comes along, and I might play this. I mean, there's not much else. I know everyone hates it. There's a handful of people that seem to enjoy it a little bit. But I'm just. It's nice just to have a big game, even if it's kind of crap. I just want to play something that feels like it's expensive.
That's what some people said about Saints Row, same kind of thing. And it's like, like the stuff that does seem good at least isn't quite that tier. Like Sparks of Hope is very good. It's fun. Not exactly that same itch. Even Bayonetta 3, not exactly scratching that same itch. We have, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is very imminent. Also, I think a lot of us, like, that's going to be the biggest game of the year. A lot of us don't really care.
Yeah.
So this year is kind of weird for that. There must be a couple other things I'm forgetting about. Maybe one of them is going to be, there's God of War Ragnarok probably is like the last hope for having a really exciting one of these AAA games, I suppose. And that one I have some faith in. I don't think it's going to come out and fizzle sort of. Oh, and Callisto Protocol, Jedi Moss, that's true.
There's still games coming this year. Absolutely. Definitely. It's
Pokemon,
just, yeah. It's just,
but I am already looking forward to next year. I'm already kind of looking past it. Like a lot of the stuff that is just Mikey games. Really looking forward next year.
Right before we went live, Nintendo, as they are wont to do, announced
Sonic Frontiers. Sorry, someone says Sonic Frontiers.
No, the big one.
That was obnoxious cutting you off, but I just saw the word Sonic Frontiers. It's like,
I understand. You have, like, when you see it, you have to say it. I can be the same way. Mario Party 1 and 2 are coming to Nintendo Switch Online next month. Is that what it is?
Next a couple weeks, November 2nd, which is good because they sort of just skipped September for whatever reason, and it looks like they're actually trying to make good on that in a bit, like getting this out sooner. And it's Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2 are both coming on November 2nd.
Right.
So, like, me and you had this big fear of, like, is it going to be like 3 months of slowly doling out these very similar Mario Party games,
and then 2 months of Pokemon Stadium games after that, which okay, but that's like a long time of games you might not care about. I think in many cases, I'll play some of the Mario Party games. I'm not going to play Pokemon Stadium in that sort of venue. It just doesn't make sense for me because you can't transfer your Pokemon to the game and actually play around with them. It seemed like it was going to be a long time before we got to the 1080s of the world. So doubling up, that shortens that time span. I think it probably will be 4 months now of these kinds of games. Maybe Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 come out the same month. Maybe now that they've broken the seal on doing two N64 games in a month, I guess that's possible.
They could.
Yeah, I hope they do. But in the meantime, this is good. And Mario Party 1 and 2, going to be a kind of a fun thing to play using the Nintendo Switch Online Net Play option. That's neat. I'm glad they have it there. We will probably do that with our, on here as part of content or whatever. I think that could be a good time because
absolutely. It's probably gonna be the best game for that kind of a thing yet on Nintendo 64. Maybe even on like Nintendo Switch in general online for these old games. So
absolutely,
it's gonna be fun.
There was a Silent Hill event, and they announced a bunch of Silent Hill things. I'll just go through them real quick. Silent Hill 2 Remake announced for PlayStation 5 and Steam, made by the Bloober team, which is the team that did The Medium. It has
your favorite game.
Yes, I gave it a 10 out of 10 without ever touching it. Silent Hill Ascension, which is a text messaging interactive television show / game thing. I honestly am not familiar with GenVid, the studio that put this together, which has apparently done other things like this before. But it sounds like it's more content for Silent Hill fans to engage with. That's coming 2023. No platforms were announced. Then Silent Hill Townfall, something that's a bit more mysterious. Seems like it could be first person, coming from the developer No Code. Silent Hill F, which is from that Resident Evil Reverse game studio. And it's it seems like the next big Silent Hill, and it's got its own style. Seems very different from previous Silent Hills while maintaining some aspects that I think fans recognize. And that there was no dates or platforms announced for that either. And then Return to Silent Hill, which is a new movie based on Silent Hill 2. I'm happy for Silent Hill fans. I'm also worried for Silent Hill fans. That's kind of where I'm at with this.
Hey, you got this rapid fire approach. One of these has to be good, Jeff.
Yeah.
Don't find something to kind of like. I mean, I was even asking this. Like, I would like to know, like, what are the Resident Evil games that are Resident Evil Silent Hill games that the Silent Hill fans like besides Silent Hill 2? Give me a better idea of what maybe they're looking for here. But people seem like I bet if you didn't know about the Boober Team thing and you just saw that trailer for Silent Hill 2, they would be excited.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So I get people having, those fears there. I would maybe, if I was to try to lift their spirits, I would just say, hey, look, this looks good. Bloober Team probably isn't going to editorialize a whole lot. They're just remaking a game. I bet that'll actually be fine. And then Silent Hill F, I think, looks interesting. I thought I was being a smarty. I thought I figured out why it was called Silent Hill F. I'm like, oh, it's because F is the 5th letter of the alphabet, and this is Silent Hill 5. Then I actually started counting A, B, C, D, E, O.
I mean, the word 5 starts with F, Mike. I mean, you could do that one.
Man, that makes some sense, but so does Fan. That's not very good, though. Maybe the next time we see it's going to be called Silent Hill Fee. We'll get closer to that.
Yeah, I hope it's Silent Hill Feet is what it actually F stands for.
Hill Feet. Oh no.
Someone pointed out that the F treatment on the logo, the font, looks like the F stop on a camera. It's got the similar sort of stylings to that. And it's like, okay, so maybe there's some photography elements to this. It also maybe could be a Forte music related. I'm kind of pulling out possibilities here. That's what Jess said, Forte, and they haven't sort of said that or confirmed that in any way that beyond like it kind of looking like maybe it's that F for Forte. So yeah, I don't know. They have a lot of time before this game is going to come out. There's no way this is coming out in 2023. They have Silent Hill 2 remake coming first, so they have time to come back and tell us more about these games.
There was like at least one leak that pretty much listed all of these. Like it feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, this is
like the Annapurna thing, the whole Silent Hill 2 thing.
Well,
so,
Dusk Golem had all this stuff. The Annapurna stuff specifically. The rest of these, it was on a list that was handed to me. Of this is the timeline for these things. I could probably try to go find that stuff somewhere. Me and Jess talked about it a few months back on Discord, so I have those images somewhere still. But yeah, this is the basic rundown of what they were always going to do. That one of these, which I can't remember which one of these was Bad Robot. Bad Robot is always the company I heard was also involved with some sort of Silent Hill thing. So
I think they're are they the Townfall people?
Yeah, maybe. There was like a whole bunch of developers involved in one of these, and Bad Robot.
Yeah, I forget. I'm getting Ascension and Townfall mixed up already.
Right. And then the Uncharted Wolf in chat wants us to point out that Ryukishi 07 is writing Silent Hill F, and Ryukishi 07 is a renowned visual novel author, and people really, really like some of the games that they've put out. So, and Christian also points out it looks like the function in math. So, yeah, it could be anything. They have a lot of space to play around with that weird little F. We'll see. Maybe it stands for fuck. Resident Evil stuff was also announced. They showed a trailer for Resident Evil 4. It looks good. I was kind of half watching after a really long day of work, and I that's the best my brain could do is this looks good. It does.
This looks very good. I mean, they really seem to nail. Capcom has really found its like stride again. As somebody who's like loved Capcom for a long time. It's really cool to just sort of see them doing well, and really seems like they're kind of in the business of making very good games, making consistent hits, and making really pretty games. Again, like gosh, I still remember that awkward 360 era where their stuff was like kind of janky and weird. And at first, it was okay with things like Lost Planet and stuff, and then it got just like sad and like ugly when you were starting to compare things like their Bionic Commando reboot with actual games. But here they are now, and yeah, gosh, this looks great. It looks like familiar, but very pretty. Like smart changes, all the characters look fantastic. I like stuff that I want to still be there, like the inventory, like box thing is still there. I'm all about it. I'm ready.
Yeah, it seems like they're making some cool improvements, but mostly it looks a lot like the Resident Evil 4 you remember, just even prettier with more contrast in the lighting because it's more detailed and higher resolution, so you could see things better even when it is like, all these trees are pitch black because there's no moon out tonight, but the sky is this inky blue, and so that's like there's contrast between those things, and it just looks really atmospheric. And I'm ready. I love Resident Evil 4. I love Resident Evil 4 from day one. I bought that game the day it came out and fell in love with it, and I've been waiting for this ever since they've been doing all these remakes. So this is pretty cool. There was some news about Resident Evil RE-verse, apparently is how it's pronounced. I'm just gonna say Reverse.
Yeah, please.
RE-verse, but yeah, Reverse, because that's what the word spells. That's actually coming out now. That was supposed to come out, I believe, alongside Resident Evil Village. They postponed that, and now it's finally happening. I don't know how much excitement there's going to be for a Resident Evil multiplayer game, sort of ever. I know 1 or 2 is somewhat liked by that community, but yeah, no one seems to be clamoring. Like no one was saying, "Where's Reverse? Damn it!"
Right.
That's never been a question that's come up on chat. I don't think from our super chats or anything.
The Metal Gear Solid games actually had like some on them that people kind of like, but they never really took off. That's what these Resident Evil ones feel like to me. Like they have fans, and I'm sure they're fun. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to convert it into something live servicey and like this big money maker. Like I'm sure they want to, and what I think Naughty Dog's even trying to do with Last of Us's thing, whatever that was supposed to be called. So yeah, I mean, I'm already kind of looking past that and really thinking about Resident Evil 4 still. You see, like somebody had an interview where they finally asked the guy, like, "Hey, how about Code Veronica?" He was basically like, "Yeah, if the opportunity came up, it'd be good." It's like, well, you're Capcom.
Yeah, who decides if you get the opportunity?
Yeah, right, but sure.
Let's see here. I just saw someone else playing the first Ascendant on Discord. Christian was talking about that. All right, I'll check it out. Final Fantasy. Let's talk about this, and then let's wrap back around and talk about all 3 of these things together in a second. Mike, Final Fantasy 16 trailer came out today. What do you think?
Oh, it looks good. It's actually. I remember when that first Final Fantasy 16 trailer came out, like the one that it looked really cool, and I loved like the world building and like the vibe of it. And one of the things was like, yeah, but like, graphically it doesn't look quite super ambitious, but that's okay because maybe they tried too hard with 15 and how they came back. And now this game is actually just looking very, very pretty now. Like you can really see the last couple of years in development in here. And, the director and the producer, Yoshi P, even said in an interview, like, yeah, we are, the game's done. We're in just the kind of polishing, debugging sort of state of things now. And I'm just chomping at the bit. God, this game, like there's like this really focused on like the cities and the characters, and just these cities look so pretty. Like a lot of them are anchored by these giant crystal formations that tower above the actual towns, and there's like castles next to it. I'm like, oh my God, there's 2 characters naked in a bed with each other. They might have kissed in there. I don't know. Can you imagine how people would freak out if in like in Final Fantasy, what's the next one? Rebirth, actually, yeah. Like there was a scene where Cloud and Aerith are just naked in a bed.
Yeah, people would freak out.
What a time to be alive. People would. It might actually not go over well. I don't know. People may not be able to handle it. But 16 looking very good.
So, all right, Mike. That was a PlayStation 5 exclusive game. That Resident Evil event that broadcasted live on the PlayStation Twitch channel, and Silent Hill 2 Remake is coming console exclusive to PlayStation. That's a lot of money PlayStation spent for other people to show off stuff this week. Was there supposed to be something from PlayStation this week?
when it was just the Silent Hill thing, I'm like, I don't know, because they did their own thing, whatever. The Final Fantasy thing, just dropping that on a tweet, and you've been talking this week about how hard and how expensive it is and how disruptive it is to make a trailer. You don't do it without a good reason. And then Resident Evil multi-platform, but didn't this get revealed at a PlayStation event? So there's some kind of marketing deal with Resident Evil 4 remake. It really feels like there was supposed to be at least some kind of third-party PlayStation event, maybe a bigger one that was going to include first-party games also, Jeff. And when you're trying to wonder why, it's hard not to think about all this stuff going on in Europe, right?
Yeah, and it's my hang up, like I was saying from the beginning of this, was the third-party partners. They aren't going to be able to wait. They are stuck on their timelines. They are not going to have sympathy for PlayStation and say, oh, because you were worried about the CMA, sure, delay our marketing plan. That was never going to happen. Well, we're going into Friday now. It doesn't seem like many of those third-party partners did wait. They did things this week, and no news about Sony first-party exclusive games at all. So it's just feeling a lot more possible, a lot more plausible than when that rumor first came about. And so I want to say in this world that we're in now, it definitely, the circumstantial evidence is piled up enough that I think, sure, maybe that's exactly what happened. It is still weird for Sony to be operating backward from, this number one priority is disrupting this Activision deal. Yeah. Everything revolves around that. Every decision we make is based on what is best for disrupting that Microsoft deal. That's still pretty wild to me, that they are that aggressive on this defensive maneuvering. But maybe it's that important to them. Maybe they've done the math. Maybe this is existential for them, where they are like, Call of Duty is that important to our bottom line. And you start putting the numbers in place. Yeah, Call of Duty sells a lot on PlayStation. Those numbers probably aren't going to go away. But let's say Microsoft makes a big move and says Call of Duty is going free to play across the board, and now you don't need PlayStation Plus to play Call of Duty anymore. And now people aren't getting PlayStation subscriptions just to play Call of Duty, like many, many, many people do. And if you look at those PlayStation Plus numbers, this is one of the reasons they did that rejiggering, where we got extra and premium. Those numbers kind of stopped growing a little bit. Now I think they're going to pick up as the PlayStation 5 picks up in sales, but they stagnated a little bit. And now the idea that they could begin retracting because something happening with Call of Duty, that probably does feel a little bit existentially threatening to their profit margins. And so I could see them panicking and imagining a world where things go really wrong for them, all because of Call of Duty. Still, it is pretty weird that they would postpone a showcase because of this. It's still a little bit hard to believe, but I'm kind of, maybe. You brought up,
how long could they play that game, Jeff, of having to pretend like
we're months away from this
shitty.
Yeah,
it has no games, just to try to play defensive on this one point. This could take a while,
right? And it's not really working, right? I mean,
no, because we still know that Final Fantasy again. We're assuming things here. I don't know. I feel safe in this assumption, but we all know Final Fantasy 16 is a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah,
we all know about Silent Hill. Just because we don't have it on this big PlayStation showcase, we're still going to be able to say, hey, look, PlayStation has exclusives. Also, sure, none of them are as big as Call of Duty, but we understand that they don't disagree with it on principle. They just disagree with it on scale.
Yes, yeah. And it's exact or methodology, where it's okay if you take your bag, hand it to a developer, and now that game is exclusive in some way to your platform. But if you own a thing and make it exclusive, that's more disruptive somehow. Even though they've said they won't make it exclusive, whatever. All these points aside, that doesn't really matter to the argument PlayStation's even trying to make. So it's weird. I don't think it's working, except for with the CMA, it does appear to be working a little bit.
Aren't they doing like they're taking public like opinions or public comments
Yeah.
soon or something? That's
Yes, they've announced.
oh,
Yes, I'm like, oh no, that's going to be a real
no. I
nightmare.
wonder who's going to be the most revved up people who are going to volunteer their comments on that one. Certainly not the fanboys.
Especially with .co.uk email address is the home of PlayStation fanboy, like fanboy headquarter #1, UK. PlayStation fans easily dominate in that country. So. Yeah, it's going to continue to be a mess. But you're right. We're months away from this being settled. And are they just not going to do a PlayStation showcase until then? Did they get a word from the CMA saying, like, hey, listen, we can maybe help you out here, but you need to not look like you are flying in the face of whatever you tell us and do the complete opposite. And maybe like, oh, okay, I guess we could postpone the showcase. But they got to still sell video games in the meantime. And I suppose maybe early next year is a little bit barren for them. When is Final Fantasy 16 coming out?
Oh, it's more like a spring thing.
Yeah, they said spring or summer.
Now.
I think they said summer. Maybe next year's gonna be another one of those where they go 4 or 5 months early part of the year without a lot. I don't think so, but maybe they will. And so listen, let's just sell God of War Ragnarok, ride that coattails. That'll be just fine for us. That's gonna get a lot of attention, and then we'll try to get to E3, and hopefully this deal will be closed or it'll be derailed, and then we can just go back to business as usual. Still,
Forspoken's early next year. God damn, I forgot
right.
about Forspoken.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are.
You mentioned this that it's a lot of work to create these trailers. I tried to get some numbers behind this, and an announced trailer can take, an announced CG trailer can take 7 months of planning and work and trying to get everyone on the same page of what it should look like. And a gameplay trailer takes 4 months. So 4 months from just deciding they want to do it to actually getting something out there. 4 months worth of work. And these are from big corporations. You can imagine that probably complicates some things in some ways, but also they have a lot of resources on the other side. And it's not just time. It is 4 months of people who would be working on the game, working on this trailer instead. And very disrupted, very expensive, a lot of momentum, to the point where if a few weeks ago you decided you weren't going to be doing a PlayStation showcase anymore, in a time slot you told all these friends and partners you were going to do it, well, they are obviously going to have to see that work through and get some return on that investment. So coming out of this week, it feels like that's exactly what happened. All right, I played a little bit of this game, but I want to talk about it right now. Gotham Knights reviews are mid to bad. I don't know. Have you touched this game? Do you have any thoughts on it?
No. I edited our own Rachel Kaiser sort of review, which is unscored because she didn't beat it and didn't want to.
It's long, apparently.
I don't blame you. It's long. Jeez, yeah. So, I don't know, Jeff. It's just one of these weird things where it's we all had kind of a bad feeling about this one. And it's I saw the quick look you guys did, and it kind of looked worse than I was expecting. Buggier. It definitely, the whole idea, it's so high detail, and because of the co-op, it could never run at 60 FPS on consoles. It's no, this is just you didn't have enough time to optimize it, or you couldn't quite figure it out. Whatever. I don't know. It all kind of feels bad, Jeff.
Yeah, it's kind of another bummer of a game. It's another Saints Row. It's another game where it's hey, maybe you had some excitement, maybe you had some concerns. If you had concerns, well, congratulations, your alarm bell or your warning system is accurate and well tuned in to to understanding what this game was going to be, because it's a kind of a concerning release. They clearly did not. This was not the plan going into making this game. The product that we ended up with of having these 4 characters, and then you can only do 2-player co-op through the campaign. That was never the plan, and kind of just having it be a really slight RPG with a night system where every night you're going out on quests, and it's kind of basically a single-player RPG. That sounds more like it should be a live service game where you're running, nightly missions on a Destiny thing or a Division.
Yeah. Did this pivot hard after the Avengers kind of?
It pivoted. So in our chat, someone who I do believe them when they said they were at WB for quite some time said that it pivoted multiple times in development. Apparently, at one point, and again, I'll verify some of this stuff, but let's just take it as hearsay for now. It was going to be a single player Batman game where you play as Wayne or Damian Wayne.
Damien, okay, yeah.
The son of Batman. And so it was gonna be something like that. And then at another time it was going to be a full live service Division like. It was gonna be a Destiny like. And it's neither of those things. And it's like, well, either one of those felt like maybe they could have been better, except for you see the Avengers and you're like, well, you know, people hated this. And we're making exactly that thing just with DC characters. And Avengers is even bigger than these characters right now. And if they can't make it work.
They have like Captain America and, you know, Thor and Iron Man, and we've got Nightwing.
Yes, and Red Hood. And not, you know, listen, I know if some people really like these DC characters. It's not what I'm actually doing here. I'm just saying in terms of broad popularity right now. And
I'm kind of saying it. You can get mad at me if you want. But these are jabronis to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think maybe the very idea of let's do a Batman game we don't play as Batman. I feel like maybe something should have happened there. We thought better of this.
I definitely agree with that. That's something I just don't get, like, and they're doing two of these. They're doing this one, and then they're doing Suicide Squad from Rocksteady, where you're gonna kill Batman instead of playing as him. It's just it's bizarre, and the final product feels like something that never really got dialed in on what they wanted to do, and they ended up just having to ship something, so they just lopped off features, they lopped off graphical ability, elements, and the streets are mostly empty, and there's not a lot of dynamic things happening in the world. It just felt like all that stuff was just shunted out of the game, yeeted out of the game, and you're left with, you know, a handful of things and a handful of ways to interact with missions, and then you're just going to do that, you know, on repetition throughout the rest of the game, and it's not really working for many people. Now, all that said, it was kind of fun to watch Dan just mess around with Bacalar in a 2-player mode, but you know, that's because it's because Dan is fun. Right? Like,
well, I mean, yeah, his character was freezing in place and shit, yeah. You know?
Yes, and he's doing popper wheelies over Barbara Gordon or whatever, and that's just inherently a good time, but that doesn't have much to do with the game they made.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with liking this game and, you know, what have you. I was kind of giggling at some of the people, including friends, so excuse me, but I am giggling at you, who are like, well, it's not fair to compare this to the Arkham games. Then I look at it, and it is just so clearly, like, taking a lot from that, Jeff. Like, of course, I and everybody else is going to compare this to the Arkham games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that just doesn't track. Of course, you have to make that comparison. This is from the publisher that made those games, and this is from one of the developers that made one of those games. This is their follow-up, and it's been many years since we've had one. Yeah, and it's what people want. So
I think that's the thing with this and Suicide Squad, Jeff. Like, making these AAA games, you have to be so precious about what it is that they go and tackle, because these are like 5-year, 6-year, 7-year ordeals now. And just the idea that Rocksteady has been spending all this time making a Suicide Squad game that, like, is maybe not gonna, I don't know. That is just bananas to me.
Yeah, I don't know where my estimation of Rocksteady sort of fell off a cliff at some point. I think it's there were some talks about their internal culture, which of boys club stuff, so many developers, but also it just the vibe. And I think in Batman Arkham Knight it just felt kind of edgelordy a little bit. I don't know.
Although a lot of people today like kind of pining for Arkham Knight. It sounded like. Yep,
and it's I don't know. And now it's they're doing this Suicide Squad game, and they're taking so long, and maybe it's because it's problematic. I think it's the development is plagued with issues or whatever. But I also just feel like they're like, hey, we're Rocksteady. We make Game of the Year games. We're gonna take the time that we need. And maybe I'm reading too much into that, but I'm just not very excited about the prospect of that game, and it'll have to win us over.
It's still supposed to just be a single player game.
No, I think that one is a 4-player co-op one.
Cool.
Yeah. Right.
Awesome. Where you get to play as everyone's favorite characters, like Captain Boomerang and King Shark.
Yep.
And Harley Quinn, who, you know, we're not tired of her yet. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like when they greenlit that one, like, this will probably come out around the same time as that James Gunn movie. Then it didn't. Then that James Gunn movie, like, I know some people liked it. It didn't seem to have much of an impact.
Yeah, people like it. Impact. Yep.
They're not much of an impact. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. We knew that Warner Brother Games was like maybe looking to sell, get rid of studios. It seemed like things were maybe safe just because Lego Star Wars was this giant hit. Kind of surprising how well it did. Well, if this doesn't do well, if Harry Potter doesn't do well, we forgot about that still. And then, maybe Suicide Squad. I wonder what that landscape is really going to look like.
Yeah, it might be the kind of thing where they don't even sell. They just start shutting stuff down, right? And, EA shuts down.
It's happened before.
Volition. Why wouldn't WB Montreal be?
It'd be a shame.
It'd be a shame.
Yeah.
You don't want it to happen, but WB does not seem very. I mean, look what they're doing to HBO Max, which is a success and has high quality stuff on it, and it was growing so fast, and it's a lot of people's favorite streaming service, and they are gutting that thing. So, of course, they were going to do that to the video games at some point if things don't start going positive for some of these other things. They had a pair of hits. It was not just Star Wars, but there was another one. I'm not going to be able to think of it. But
no, you're right. And I mean, Mortal Kombat and Injustice
of course,
have always done really well for them.
Yeah, Multiverses, yes, and it's a huge success.
Yes, so it looked like they were doing really, really well. And then I guess but I mean, that's the thing we talk about more. Like one misstep now can really send things derailing.
Yep, it's not like one success pays for all these other things. It is. Everything has to pay off, especially the biggest bets. And if one of those big bets goes bad, you're right. That's the exact problem for many of these.
They probably are more optimistic about that Mortal Kombat mobile game they announced. They're probably more concerned about that making money.
It probably will. Finally here, Microsoft plans to build its own Xbox mobile gaming app store to take on Google and Apple. This is according to Microsoft, who put in documentation to the CMA that's what the deal is really about for acquiring Activision Blizzard. They want Call of Duty Mobile, and they want Candy Crush Saga and all these other things from King. And they want to take all that stuff and all the Xbox stuff and put it in a tidy little mobile store so that people can access their games through any device and through Microsoft directly instead of through Google Play and Apple. And they said this is going to take a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of changing people's behaviors. But this is what we're trying to do, and we need this stuff to compete in those spaces. You could see sort of the gears turning inside of Microsoft of how can we frame this acquisition in such a way that it is us competing so hard with someone else that is in ingrained and protected and monopolized space. And so we are going to take on the mobile app stores, the things that are completely rigid and have had no competitors. And even Epic tried to go in there and failed. Well, we're a $1 trillion company. Epic's a multi-billion dollar company. We need to do this to go fight these other $1 trillion companies. Let us go do that. I don't think the store's ever going to be anything. I don't know, Mike. I just can't see a world where the Xbox mobile gaming store matters.
Yeah, no, I have a hard time seeing that. God, what was their PC game thing called? Games for PC? Was it?
Wow, Games for Windows Live. You almost threw me off there, Mike. Yeah.
Name it that. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty bananas. I don't think even having Candy Crush is going to help you somehow. Like, I don't know. I think everybody's pretty used to which of those kind of mobile stores that they're using. And that seems like a hard sell. I can't imagine anybody getting excited about that or wanting that. Maybe some people just for competition's sake, because I know people get upset at Apple, for example, for, the split. Even then, I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that maybe these stores pop up on that Logitech Cloud G gaming thing. Sure, that's fun. That's not going to matter though in the long run. Even if like one of those devices has like Steam Deck sort of success, it won't matter all that much.
And they won't.
Yep. Okay, Mike, that does it for the news items I wanted to talk about. If we missed anything, if I didn't bring something to the table here and you want us to bring it up, go ahead and send in a super chat. We'll get to it before the end of the show. Mike, we got a pair or a couple of super chats. Why don't we read those and then we'll get to the Discord stuff after maybe a break.
All right. Gruntilda's Bazoongas says, I can't believe you guys aren't witnessing the power of hierarchy in the DC extended universe change when Black Adam releases today. Is it DCEU? Is that the entertainment universe? Probably
no, extended universe.
It is extended. I was right. Okay. Black Adam releases today. Watch it quickly before The Rock removes your ability to enjoy your gaming. Man, I have to admit, Jeff, there are a few things I'd rather do less than watch Black Adam right now.
I thought this movie had already come and gone, and to
That's funny.
realize that, oh no, it is still looming there, ready to pounce. The reviews on this bad boy, woo, they are not great.
They're not good. Although I think the user reviews maybe are good. It might be one of
Oh,
the
really? Big surprise
might
there.
be the next Venom. Might be the next Venom. Remember that?
Did Venom have a high user review score?
Yes, the people liked the first. I remember being very confused because like the critics didn't like it, and then like all people were like, actually, it was fun, and critics are snooty. They couldn't trick me, Jeff. I did not see Venom. I can't be fooled.
I will not be watching Black Adam. I don't know. No, thanks. I'm
maybe an Amazon Prime watch along party or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
Someday,
There we go.
10 years
Someday.
from now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other super chats?
Yes, that's my job. I was like waiting for you. What War Rizzle says earlier, guys, we're talking about all the games coming out next year and didn't say Silk Song. Which game are you looking forward to most next year? Well, I was kind of making a point about these sort of triple A things, although I am, yes, very excited about Silk Song. I think Final Fantasy 16 is my most anticipated, even a little bit more than Tears of the Kingdom. I just really like Final Fantasy, and I really like that Final Fantasy team. I'm really excited to see them do this big AAA RPG thing that looks very unweeby in a way I find really appealing for Final Fantasy after some, slightly more weeby mainline entries. I am all for it. And Street Fighter 6. I missed that game so much since that beta ended, so I'm very excited to play more Street Fighter 6.
Dave in chat says, what happened to Sports Story? I hope that comes out. I'll look forward to that, but no idea. We probably just won't hear about it again until it's about ready to come out, it feels like.
What's your most anticipated game next year, Jeff? I assume Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, yes. Tears of the Kingdom, and I don't know. I could check the gamer browser, but I'm just going to go with Tears of the Kingdom. Yes, Spider-Man for sure.
I don't know if Wolverine's next year or RL.
Microsoft claimed it was, and I'm like, well, yeah, Microsoft's just trying to. Again, that's just positioning.
Starfield, right? Starfield should be good.
All right, everybody. Please stick around. We're going to be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mike, do you have to go potty?
I almost don't, but I better try anyway.
All right, good boy.
Batman is dead.
Batman is dead.
Yeah, Jeff, I tweet this, but I don't feel like any franchise that has something called a Lazarus Pit. I gotta say this now. Any franchise that has something called a Lazarus Pit deserves at least a certain amount of condemnation.
Yes, especially if your whole marketing campaign is the main character is dead, and then you say,
to be clear, this isn't spoilers. I don't know if they use the Lazarus Pit to bring back Batman. I would not be surprised.
I mean, at this point, where they've said it 50 times in the first couple hours, I would be infuriated if they didn't, because that's just what are we doing here?
It's impossible for that character to be dead.
Well, yes, we know that.
Batman is not dead. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I didn't play the game. I'm not gonna play it. I don't know the story. Anything. That character is not dead.
I should just ask somebody.
It's gonna have some dumbass fucking plot where it's like, actually, the biggest bad guy is Batman. Some dumb shit like that.
Oh god, that'd be great.
Because
just to brainwash
DC.
Batman as the villain. Yeah, that'd be stupid.
Yeah.
That's like the time turners at fucking Harry Potter. It's like you create this thing, and you don't this is fun, and now, oops, we have time travel / the ability to bring people back from the dead in our media universe now.
Yep, they're definitely gonna fight Batman in this game. Yes, or maybe just Bruce Wayne. I don't know. Yeah, Mike's going potty now. Yes, there you go, everybody. Here's my bookmark for the book I contributed to, where I wrote about the Steam Deck.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's a shiny bookmark. I got that book. The book's upstairs. I would grab it, but that's far away.
I'm a bookmark fan.
Yeah, big bookmark fan. It's shiny. All right, let's see. That's right, 2 writers at Chime Bomb now. I got several books that I've contributed to coming out in the next little bit. There's that. There's the Game of the Year book, which does takes like every year, has a bunch of writers contribute their picks for Game of the Year that year. I did NBA Jam Volume 2.
That's pretty good.
That was a good call on it. Was that 2003?
That's good. But any of your books has alligators piloting sheds and shed.
Oh, that's the other book.
I don't think so.
I contributed to Air Force Gator 3. How many has he written?
Did you?
No, of course not. And then let's see, what is the other one? The other one is it's the Xbox Era's Xbox book. I just wrote a little bit of thing about Xbox in there. So Yeah, it's fun time. Dude says I haven't read a
The
book
last
since
book
Captain
I read-
Underpants. That's fair.
The last book I read, well, the Comedy Manifest doesn't count. The last book I read was Dead Moon. It's a zombie book about zombies on the moon. It was actually pretty
Yeah, NBA
good.
Street Volume 2. Yes, I did mean that, Golding. Thank you. And for old Tim, I got this from a website called animeape.com. Anime Ape.
Anime Ape.
Yep.
Ape.
That
got
man is dead.
They got a lot of great stuff. It's a bit expensive.
Yeah. Licensing, baby.
The last book I read was Chainsaw Man. That's pretty good, bro. That's the book. Every time somebody says the book,
Mm-hmm.
it's Chainsaw Man. I'm reading the big book.
Anime Ape's
Alrighty.
a good thing. All right, let's see. Let's get back into it. Okay.
Where's-
Where am I at?
It's Discord.
Good. Oh, hey, Mark, hit thumb up, hit more like.
Oh,
please.
yeah.
Brain broke. Hit like button, please. Yes. Do it for my poor little brother whose balls hurt because of his vasectomy. Come on, everybody.
Oh,
Do it for
really?
Chrissy.
Good for him.
Oh, yeah. Do it for Chrissy.
Yeah, do it for Chris's balls.
Yeah.
Does he have to ice him?
I don't know if he has to. I think what did he have like the frozen peas or something the one day? I think he's just taking ibuprofen today. He took today off at least. I think he was actually playing a lot of Fallout New Vegas. Good. Hey Chris, there he is. Hey Chris,
Yeah,
did
hey,
you beat
Chris.
New Vegas? Yeah.
He does have to ice them. All right.
Oh.
And then
Victor, I can't wait.
Let's
Can't wait,
see.
Victor.
Who said it? I'm looking. Oh yeah, dude said I thought he had his hole narrowed.
Yeah, no, I don't think he got that gene.
Okay.
I haven't asked.
All right, let's see here. Okay, let's bring it back in. All right, Mike, I've got questions here from the Discord. I'm going to get to those right now by clicking over there. I should have done that during the break, but I mean, who am I to prepare anything?
Sorry, can I tell you about something that amused me today that you did?
Yeah, please.
Yes, and it's something you did. I'm very sensitive about now people thinking I'm very mean to you because there's been some people are being mean to each other in discourse. But I was very amused when during the Sonic 06 playthrough, I think Dan was on the final hit of the last boss and had no rings. It was a really tense moment, and you and Jess have been talking about like metaphors of movies and media for a while, and that the conversation took a break for this tense moment. And then before it resolves itself, you still just like jumped back into. And here's what I think about metaphors in video games. Like you're just talking through him getting like this thing's charged. Like Dr. Robotnik's giving a speech, and he's about to charge at the Sonic. He's got no rings. It's real tense.
I want to make it clear that I have zero respect for Sonic 06.
I could just exactly like, man, Jeff has zero investment in this, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I kind of want the game to go to hell. It is the only time it's interesting is when it's like a nightmare platformer. Just because it makes me want like my brain want to explode from how bad it is.
Now, did Sonic not kiss the princess in that? Was it because you had to do the other chapters, or is it because at that one pivotal moment when they asked him to pick his soulmate or whatever, he picked Amy and not Elise? Is that what you guys did? Because you guys might owe the Giant Bomb community an apology.
I will look into this. I will look into this and discover our issue there.
Because I think Sonic, you may have had Sonic friend zone the human princess.
Well, we can't have that.
Fury.
What the hell?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll make Dan start over.
Dan's got to start over. Okay, no matter if it's true or not, tell him that now. Tell me he needs to start over.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to these questions. From G-Man, sir. Hello, Jeff. I am an Xbox shill grub. That's right. And Mike, I swear me not wanting to watch Black Adam is not a race thing, Miss Naughty. Will the next Star Wars game also be boring to do cross promotions with Andor? Will the next Star Wars game also be boring to do with, like, as in, like, because it has a relationship to Andor? Yes, 100%. That'll be why. Let's see here. From Major Yora, final guess on Splatoon 3 worldwide sales and hi, messy guys. I'm going to say, I think it's going to get to 30 million.
Wow.
I think it's going to be the other 30 million seller on the system.
I mean, it's good you really want Japan. I still want to be a little bit more. I'm going to be a little more cautious. I'm going to say 25 million. It seems like bananas. Even then, I'm like, that's so many
That's
copies.
so many. Yep.
Like, they were just really celebrating the fact that Devil May Cry reached 6 million copies, right? Like, that was a news story this week. Which is like, yeah, that's good. But then you compare it to some of these Nintendo
I think
numbers.
Splatoon 3 is at 6 million in Japan alone.
Yeah.
So, from Laushin, hey Jeff, I need Crocs in my life, Grubb, and Mike, single Croc Minati. Hope your weekend plans are good. With how bad the Alan Wake remaster runs on the Switch, when do you see third parties stopping their support of that? With peanut butter and jelly is only... Okay, so that's his first question, then we'll get this other one. I don't know. It depends on how well they sell. I mean, if they put them on there, they tend to sell because people like playing games on their Switch, even if there's sort of questionable ports.
You know, there are still some people are better at this. Apparently, the Persona 5 port is pretty good on Switch, and that's, you know, Persona 5, PlayStation 3 game, Alan Wake, originally an Xbox 360 game, so similar eras really here. So maybe this was just mildly botched. I haven't played it myself. I've just seen some screenshots, and yeah, it does. Alan Wake Remastered does not look great on the Switch. Look, I'm sure developers would all love to have better hardware, but it's not necessarily about that. It's about trying to make money on this system that a lot of people have.
Last chance wants to know if you eat a peanut butter and jelly, does that include peanut butter and strawberry jam, or is it only grape jelly?
To be clear, zero jelly. Disgusting. Only peanut butter sandwiches.
That's right, because it's a fruit. It's like very fruity.
No jam.
Peanut butter and strawberry jam exclusively. No peanut butter, or I'm sorry, no grape jelly. So I don't really like grape jelly all that much. All right, let's see here from the Uncharted Wolf. Hi, Jeff. Are you already regretting that Metacritic prediction of an 80 for Gotham Knights, Grubb? And Mike, stop calling me Minion Naughty.
Man, what was my prediction for Gotham Knights now? Now I want to know.
Yeah,
I think I went lower than you. I think I said 75. I may have been slightly generous, but yeah.
Yeah, 80. I'm just like, there's no way they release a game of that scale that isn't at least, a B minus. Well,
unless you're just tired of working on this thing, and you know what? Just get it out there. It's got to come out eventually.
Site. What's the most amount of time you guys have put into a game but recall literally nothing from it? I put 50 hours into Rage 2, but I can't tell you anything about that game. Not the story, setting, enemies, character names. All I could say is that the shotgun was cool. And I don't know.
Yeah, I had that experience relatively recently when Horizon 2 was coming out. I was like, what the fuck happened in Horizon 1? I know I was like, and like stuff was happening in Horizon 2 where they were talking about how I was like a clone of somebody from like the past technological world. I was like, oh, I forgot about all that. I like had to just go into Wikipedia. Like, and I liked Horizon, but like none of that lore stuff stuck with me. So it took me a bit. I said an 82 on Gotham Knights. Oh no, I'm a fool.
Let's see here. I'm trying to look at my most played on Steam. This says I played 120 hours of Nier Automata. I must have just left that running.
Yeah, you must have just left that on and just destroyed the planet harder than an NFT of Return of the King, Jeff.
I only played through that game the one time, and then I asked everybody, I didn't enjoy that. Should I try to keep playing to see what you all like about this? And everyone was like, no. I don't remember much about Nier Automata, even though I probably did play whatever, 15 hours, whatever it takes to get through the main thing. And all I remember...
That's apparently a pretty decent Switch port. Like, it's 30 frames per second.
Yeah,
like, apparently that
people like that on Switch. All I remember are her butt cheeks and some boring combat.
No, they're going to come for us again.
Yeah, well, they're
wrong.
I
still think that we were completely right. I was shocked when people were like, how dare you insult the combat in your Automata? I was like, are you sure? I thought that was close to a consensus, but we don't need to open up that wound again.
Yep, I dare. All right, let's see here. From Fluffy Cloud Gamer, hello Jeff. Fuck Mike Minotti Grubb, and Mike fuck Jeff Grubb Minotti. I wanted to say Mignonati, and then I saw that he didn't actually do it. Okay, Mike, what would your dream theme park game look like?
Oh, I mean, so what we had with that Connect game for Disneyland was so good. Of course, the original problem was just all the Connect bullshit. But even then, like the mini games weren't very exciting. So I would actually like something that was like that, and it was just actual recreated ride-throughs. Like all the attention that they put into making the theme park itself, and all the paths, and all the shops, and just every little detail perfect. Just put that into the rides themselves, and like let me like, if you made a game that was just Here is you can walk around Epcot as it existed in 1989, and you can go on those rides and the recreated. That would yes, Epcot '89 would be my ideal theme park game. That would actually be one of the few games that would make me cry. I think.
From Velocity Prime 1. Hello, Jeff. Last name is already kind of a Halloween pun, Grubb. And Mike, why do people always bring up the Minions Minati? Konami seems like they want to pull the sort of studio turnaround that Capcom achieved after releasing Resident Evil 7 and Monster Hunter World. So my question is, are there other game studios with slightly tarnished reps that could be turned around with renewed focus on dormant franchises? I would say Square, but they keep pulling that Final Fantasy lever.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, Square is going to have to try to maybe invest in some other franchises that they haven't in a long time, and I don't know if they really have that in them. Maybe they could finally do a new Chrono Trigger game or something, but who knows? There's Sega, who similarly has basically depended on like Sonic and maybe like a Dragon a bit, and have let a lot of the older franchises go very dormant. It's hard to say. Can they really come out and make a really high end like Fancy Star single player game, or do something interesting with Shinobi again, or Outrun, or all of these franchises that used to be really amazing. Skies of Arcadia. They're working on these super games, whatever, with Jet Set Radio or then something else. I'm not sure. Yeah, bring back Echo. That's what it's actually about. Thank you, Beef.
From Turbo Sean, Mike is he says no question this time, just a comment. Mike is officially my favorite messy boy this week because guess whose head is easier to Photoshop into a thumbnail? Yeah, fair
Who
enough.
said that?
That's Turbo Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Let's see, from Octo. Hello there, Jeff, Nonstop, Andor, Blowout, Grubb, and Mike. Copyright from Mike to Mike. Copyright law is fine. Also, Chris Pratt's Mario voice is fine. Minati. Are there any types of games you wish there were more of? I'd love to see more heist type games. There are a few, but none scratch that itch very well. Thief Series, Monaco, Thief Simulator, Quadrilateral Cowboy, The Sting, Der Klau, weird, cool German heist game. That's about it. I wish there was more games just like Oblivion and Skyrim. We got a few more of those, and the open world game is a massive genre, but none are quite like that. We've had what was it, the space game from Obsidian, The Outer Worlds,
right?
And that getting close, but even that's not quite trying to do exactly what Bethesda does. I wish we got a few more of those.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we had a little bit of an arcade racer revival last year. And I'm glad that there are like these smaller companies picking it up. I would still like to see like something kind of really big and triple A done with that. There's that Aero GPX that's on Kickstarter now that is very big F-Zero X vibes. So that's promising. Comes to mind. There's some that beat 'em ups was one, but we're kind of living pretty good with beat 'em ups sort of coming back now, so I can't be too upset there.
From MonkeyBot9K, hey BNC boys, I was listening to the Nextlander guys talk about the whole Bayonetta debacle, and when Vinny mentioned something about the Mario movie hiring Chris Pratt because he's famous, at that moment the thought came to mind: is Charles Martinet not Mario in the movie? Because they would have to pay him royalties and a much larger check, making his rates effectively higher if they had done so. What do you guys think? Go ahead. I was going to say that I think that he's probably already getting quite a bit of money. Might already have a deal with royalties involved, because he's always there, like always available, and it might just be like, hey, he's that important to us. We want to make sure he's taken care of. Or he might have a sort of on retainer thing that makes royalties not necessary. It's also possible that, it's not, he's in the movie, so he is going to get royalties. Like they're doing that. And if his deal wasn't up to snuff there, now, yeah, starring role, it would be a lot more money. Absolutely. But I think the reason is that Aladdin happened. And that's the only real reason why these companies keep doing stuff like hiring Chris Pratt instead of Charles Martinet to do that role.
That's exactly what it was. And there was some celebrity stuff, celebrities and doing voice acting roles before Aladdin. That was a huge deal. Robin Williams was like really given a lot of credit for making that movie this giant hit, and it was just, hey, we're just going to keep doing this. And now that is just the way that all these animation studios are used to doing things. I don't think it ever really occurred to them very seriously that they should have Charles Martinet be the voice of Mario in the movie. I think they all immediately started wondering what celebrity they could get to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty clear the way they talked about how they felt about getting Chris Pratt, that's what they were interested in. From Gerber, after Konami's Silent Hill presentation, I saw a lot of tweets along the lines of, okay, now do Metal Gear / Castlevania. My question is...
I did one of those, sorry.
Yeah. His question is, why? It's nice they are bringing back Silent Hill so fans can quit cry-arsing about it going away, but they've already moved on to cry-arsing about the games not looking great. Why would someone who calls themselves a fan want the same thing for Castlevania / Metal Gear Solid? Side note, okay, now do Goemon is just a sign that you are a cultured individual. Because hope springs eternal, and I don't know if everyone was complaining about the Silent Hill games looking bad, and there's always a chance that, sure, they looked bad here, but if they come out and play them, maybe they're fun and great and important, and people will still be excited. Like, there's still reason to have hope, and that was a big blowout. There was a lot of attention played to that one series, and so it would be nice to see like what would happen if they were to do that with Castlevania. I would love to see what that would look like.
I just like Castlevania a lot, and I like that we get these Castlevania inspired games, and they're often very good. But hey, maybe it comes out and it's bad. I'll live, but maybe they'll make a Castlevania game and it'll be good, and
exactly,
I'd be very happy.
Yeah, it can't be anything if it doesn't happen. And
right,
Castlevania's been like with us our entire lives at this point. I would like that to continue. That's where I'm at with it. And you're right. Maybe it'll be something more that we complain about more than actually enjoy, but there's a chance. Maybe it's good, and that would be awesome. From Bench JC, hello, Jeff and Mike. What are your thoughts on Final Fantasy 16 so far? Especially Jeff, who's not into weeb games. I'm trembling with excitement. Yeah, Bench, I think it looks really cool and intense and expensive and fun. I'm interested, and if it's the kind of game where people play it and they lose their mind in the same way that they kind of did with Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm at least going to try it, like I did with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I obviously cannot wait. I am very, very excited.
I'm way more excited than I would have been if it was more weeby. Definitely. Not that I don't think they should do more weeb games eventually. They should. It's just cool that they're not this time, just like Mike said earlier.
Just like my big takeaway from this last one is just, man, the voice acting sounds so good.
Yep.
And I'm so glad they're kind of going with that. I don't know. I know it's like, some people roll their eyes at like all the British voice actors, but anime voice acting is something I complain about, and it is a thing, and I'm glad it's not doing that.
Yeah, it does feel like this is a much more HBO style production than anything else.
Even Final Fantasy 13's voice acting was like very anime, like, typical kind of anime style voice acting, and it became grating to me. So yeah, I'll take this.
Let's see. BFAM, are you two ever going to publicly address the rumor that instead of using your Patreon money for important expenses, Mike is using his half of the money to commission more art of Kiriko?
I think that's right. Yeah, the news, the Overwatch
from
one.
Overwatch, and Jeff is spending his money to build a cellar full of exotic cheeses. I kind of don't know what you mean when you say that isn't important. Both those things are very important.
Yeah, I want to have just one of those big wheels of cheese.
I would love to have a wheel of cheese.
Keep getting little wedges off of with dinner. Kiriko seems young. I thought that she was like too young for me to commission art of.
I bet that she is canonically 18 to avoid exactly this discussion.
Maybe that's too young anymore now. It's like awkward, right? Like I remember Ashley in Resident Evil 4, I had a big crush on her because at the time she was like older than me. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, oh, well, I had a crush on her. Now she looks young, and it's weird.
You're just making me think of Matthew McConaughey and Days of Confused and be like, that's what I like about these video game girls. I get older, and they stay the same age. All right.
That's what I do not like about them.
All right. Sorry, Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, right. Apologies, King.
Yes. Let's see. From Hosp, hey yo, Messy Boys. Hearing Jeff was playing PGA Tour got me wondering, what is the most surprising game each of you has played and enjoyed? Gotta be SnowRunner for me. Fuck yes. Can't drive and have a pretty limited patience. And yeah, you need to be able to drive and have patience for that game. So glad you enjoyed it.
A good time with Gran Turismo 7 this year, actually, Jeff.
Yeah, that's
Which, like,
pretty surprising.
yeah, it's kind of game that doesn't seem like a lot of people talk about a whole lot. I think it did well. We kind of see it with Need for Speed. It's like these car people or sometimes off in their own little community or something. But I had a pretty good time with that. I thought that was a lot of fun.
All right, let's see. From Jamie H. Christmas Eve. Jeff answered this on GMM. He crossed out a whole bunch of stuff about video games. So, new question. Who will be the next PlayStation or Xbox main character to be killed off? My guess is Peter Parker. That's a pretty good guess.
Yeah, I'm so over that.
Yeah.
Killing characters. I mean, I don't know. I can't feel anything, especially if it's a comic book character. We already laughed about Batman. Peter Parker's been killed off and brought back, and sometimes he's not. And there's like alternate dimension Peter Parker's. Anyways, I don't feel anything usually anymore when the shit happens.
If you want to watch my one movie video on this YouTube channel, it's where I talk about how death doesn't matter in the Marvel universe, and that's a good thing. Because it's not. Of course, these characters are going to come back. It's when you the way they matter is what the death does to the other characters and how it changes them, and that's still effective whether the character comes back or not. All that, so you can still do that stuff. It's just with like Batman, it happened off screen, and it happened in a way where like we're just dealing with the aftermath, so we never got to see these characters before and how they changed, and so it's just inherently a bad presentation of this concept. So yeah, and instead it's like, oh, how are they going to fill the shoes? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, that's always a problem whether he's dead or alive. They still got to worry about living up to the legacy of their mentor. So it's just not a good thing. But Peter Parker's a good guess. I think they probably will kill Master Chief for a game or two at some point in the future.
Oh sure, we'll do that. I mean, they already faked out Kratos' death before. I think I'm sure they might do that again at the end of Ragnarok. Very, very likely. Actually, let's just go ahead and say that, Kratos.
Yeah, Kratos is a good guess, too. From Jump Mad, do you think Microsoft sees the writing on the wall that Google and Apple will eventually be forced to allow other stores on their devices? I think that they are preparing for that potential future, yeah. That seems right. I like this question. Let's do this one from One Up versus CPU. Which games coming in November or December are you looking forward to playing? I'm definitely getting Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? Is that what SV is? Yeah, Scarlet and Violet.
It is. It's not Scarlet and Nexus, like I sometimes say.
Yeah, I was going to do a special victim for SVU.
Special victim.
Keeping an eye on Tactics Ogre Reborn and Dragon Quest Treasures, and WayForward is still saying River City Girls 2 is coming this year, so I would get that too. All right, let's go to the gamer browser.
Wait, I was about to say, I thought you were going to go next question. No, we have to answer this one. The gamer browser's been letting you down, I thought, Jeff. I thought you disavowed the gamer browser.
Yeah, that's all I got, though. Harvestella, November 4th, yes or no?
Oh, probably not. We'll see. It looks like very good things.
Sonic Frontiers, November 8th, yes or no?
Oh, big yes. Big old fat yes.
That's a yes from me, too. God of War Ragnarok on November 9th.
Yeah, you were kind of coming around on that original game a little bit when you were playing it.
I'm having a good time. Good. Yeah. We'll see. I was enjoying this part of it originally too, but I think I'm going to have more momentum this time around. Like they said, Tactics Ogre Reborn, November 11th.
I have so many. I want to play that eventually, Jeff. Probably not this year. Beating Xenoblade, Sparks of Hope. I want to play Trolls from Zero and Pokemon. That one's probably a little bit lower on my list.
Uncharted Wolf. My answer for Harvestella is a wait and see. There are a lot of these. There is the more multiplayer, that Nintendo Direct that had all these games in it, the farming RPGs. Mm-hmm. There was one that was a 4-player cooperative one. I really think that would be fun to do with Giant Bomb. And so that's probably going to be the one I put my chips behind.
Who's playing Overwatch tomorrow, by the way?
Should be me, I think Dan, Jan, and then Tam and Lucy, who are the Overwatch professionals on our team. So...
Wow, the 5 versus 5 working against me again.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? We might need you. I'll let you know.
Oh, you'll need me.
Yeah, you pick my spot as I fail the team. Pentiment on November 15th. That's a big yes for me. A murder mystery RPG. Hell yeah.
I don't remember this one.
This is the one that has that wood carving art style from Josh Sawyer, that Xbox game.
Oh, yes. The Obsidian one. Okay, right.
Someone in the chat was mentioning that, or maybe it was on. It was one of the questions, and I didn't read that part of it. That there's another murder mystery sort of game that just came out, like the Idol or the Mystery of the Golden Idol or something like that. I'm gonna play that very soon.
So Columbo has become. People talk about Columbo too much on social media now for it to not get a remake or something. Like, how could it not happen? It would be so refreshing if actually maybe they thought maybe since all these video game freaks are playing it, we should actually just make a Columbo video game, buy the rights to his likeness, pay some voice actor to do the voice, set it in the 70s. That would be so much better than them just like making some TV show reboot with some guy, but I'm dreaming.
I mean, yeah, and there's a lot of good developers that come to mind, and just get Lucas Pope to do it. Like, I know he wouldn't do it because Lucas Pope's too cool, but maybe he would because it's Columbo. Call of Duty Warzone 2 on November 16th, Mike.
They usually throw out so many of these codes, Jeff. I bet I will get it.
Yeah, we'll probably play it for a night and see what happens, right? Goat Simulator 3 on November 17th, yes or no?
Oh, I never even played Goat Simulator 1. I don't know. I know I should have, so I don't really care.
That's probably a no for now, unless we play it for work. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not I'm very reserved about that, but yeah, sure.
Let's see. I'm gonna rush through the rest of these. Dark Tide, I will probably check that out. Midnight Suns, December 2nd.
No, probably not.
Need for Speed Unbound, December 2nd.
You know what? Maybe.
If I'm not answering these, it's because it's probably no. Everybody, just to let you know.
I'm kind of in the mood for a racing game. That might actually be a fun time during Christmas break. I think I kind of want to check that one out, actually.
High on Life, December 13th. Is that the one that got delayed? Did that get delayed out of this year? So maybe the gamer browser once again failing me?
Maybe. I forget. Maybe this was supposed to come out earlier this year, and then it got delayed to December. This is the Rick and Morty guys one.
Yes.
I'm always afraid to say this. I kind of like
Rick and Morty. Is a well-written show.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm not caught up, but I might like this. I played a bit of their VR game. I just didn't play more of it because VR makes me sick. I forget what it was called now. I thought the game was kind of funny and fun. So Squanch Games' last thing seemed good. So yeah, this game's getting clowned on a bit, and I don't blame people. Just watching that trailer, watching gameplay of it without context, it seems incredibly obnoxious even to me. But I'll be interested in High on Life. It's still supposed to be this year, says Soiled. Thank you.
From Ash Guy. Hello, Jeff.
Oh, wait, you skipped Callisto Protocol, I think is the last
I did. Was that not on there? I mean, it probably was on there, and I just
God damn it, Gamer Browser. Get your shit together.
When does it come out? Oh, yeah, there it is. December 2nd. It was right up by Midnight Suns. It was understated, so I couldn't see it. I will be playing the Callisto Protocol. Although
the Crystal Protocol.
That's
the
one
starring that blue fox girl from Star Fox.
Yeah, that's the name of my fan fiction starring her.
The Crystal Protocol.
All right.
Ash Guy?
From Ash Guy. Hello, Jeff. I could see fine. Grubb. I actually don't know what that's a reference to. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. AJ goes deep sometimes.
Yes, I appreciate it.
AJ remembers some in joke from 15 years ago and bust it out, and I'll be like, AJ, what the fuck are you talking about? Then he'll tell me. I was like, yeah, that's good. Your memory is good. I don't remember that.
Well, tell him to get your Sparkster back so you can finally have that.
I should do that.
Yeah. And Mike, when I was a kid, I used to make AJ play Mega Man so I could watch Minotti.
It's very true. I used to make him browse the internet so I could watch. I didn't make him. He just would. I had my own computer, so he'd be here.
AJ, go put on the porn for me again.
No, I did discover a lot of that because of his hard drive. But, I had to put my chair over here, and I would just watch as he browse things like GameSpyDaily.com. Holy shit. Good times.
Yeah, that sounds like good times. With Logitech and Razer releasing Android-powered cloud gaming devices, do you think now is the time for Sony to release their own? The Xperia division could make a product very similar to the Razer Edge with something that is essentially an Android phone without the phone, but includes its own controller. Of course, the lack of PS5 streaming games is a downside for Sony's streaming offerings, but they could launch the two together. Is it time for the PSP Cloud? Yes, I think it is. I think it is time. I don't think Sony will do it, but I think it's time.
I wonder if they would actually want to bring that branding back or not, because there's some affinity for it. I want to be afraid. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it would make some sense. I bet they would have a hard time justifying getting into that field while they're also trying to launch PlayStation VR 2 right now,
Right.
and still PlayStation 5 relatively new. I don't really see them getting into this.
Yeah, I think they should. I think it would be a good move. Like any way you can create more opportunities for people to access your games in different, scenarios is mostly a good thing. And it's something they can control and not have to worry about the piracy so much, like always happened with their other handhelds. So yeah, I think they should. I'm with Mike and I don't think they will anytime soon. From Lenny, Cool Dick, Denver.
Lenny.
Hey, Mike, sent Chris Minotti to the hospital after the Nintendogs Love Tuesday, Minotti. And Jeff, hey, you guys hear me? I eat ass, Grubb. Because I'm dumb, I accidentally got Trails from Zero on Steam and Switch and need advice. Would you rather play a single-player game on Steam Deck with its achievements and with the back buttons and on an OLED, or on an OLED Switch with its better screen and a grip so it's actually comfortable now? And he adds this caveat, if the performance is the same on both.
Right. And for Trails from Zero, I imagine the performance is
If the
the
performance
same.
is the same on both, I might go with the Switch because that OLED screen is spectacular.
It is spectacular. I think the Steam Deck is comfortable. I think the Switch is still a bit more comfortable for me. It is just lighter. And again, because I play these things in bed so much, that just feels slightly better to me. So yeah, in that instance, for something like Trails from Zero, I would probably just get that on
Also,
Switch.
Steam achievements, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I don't care.
And do you get, maybe get items that some people sell, I guess? I don't know.
I don't know. I even I go back and look like, do I have something I should sell? It's like, get 10 cents. I'm like, great. I had 10 cents. Is that why they got called that?
No, Mike, I don't think so.
Did they get Scrooge McDuck's lucky dime?
Yeah, I don't think they use cents in China. I don't think that's the money
they love
there.
cents.
They love cents.
That's their favorite of all the money forms.
Yeah, all the money. Yeah, the favorite number one money cents. Mr. Bowler, hey game messers. How much was G4 and or Tech TV a part of your gamer lives, either in its original incarnation or the short-lived revival that recently ended?
We didn't get it, which is weird because we had like a nicer cable package and still didn't get it for a while. I remember being at my grandma's house and for some reason she got it and I would watch it there and I liked it. Very small part of my life, actually, Jeff. I did not get to watch a lot of Tech TV G4. I think I watched more Tech TV. I still, for some reason, have this vivid memory of the day. I think Tech TV was like, it was like the day they were switching over, and there was some show on. And the guy like literally got like a sticker that said G4 and slapped it on the sticker that said Tech TV as the show was ending. I was like,
Right.
wow, that's an interesting thing. That's basically my big memory of it. Whenever I watched it, it kind of tripped me out. Like, I couldn't believe I was seeing video games on TV.
Yeah, we did have it, and I watched a lot of it because I wanted to see video games on TV.
Won a pizza party, didn't you, or something?
I won a Pizza Hut gift card, yes. Calling into Attack of the Show and answering their question and being the only coherent guest on the show. Yeah, or not guest, but, like caller or whatever. I really liked a lot of it. It was very proto what we were about to get from Giant Bomb and everything else on the internet, and everything now is way better than it was on G4 ever. But there was something that was special about seeing a show like Cinematech, which was just, hey, we're gonna play a lot of cinematics from video games back to back to back for a half an hour. And I remember being on illegal drugs and watching Cinematech, and the opening cinematic, which I had never seen before, for Munch's Odyssey came on, and it just blew my mind. I'm like, oh my god! And I'm like,
you had the munchies.
Yeah, well, yeah,
munchies for munches.
Yeah, it was actually different drugs even than that. And so it's like, yeah, this is liberating my consciousness right now. But it was just like, hey, this is neat. This is happening on cable right now. And then I thought that the Attack of the Show at the time was
911 talking to a hardened criminal over here. They did a drug even worse than weed, I think.
It was, they never even care about it. It was LSD. They never care about that, actually. They're just like,
oh, dang it.
They're like, please don't waste our time with this shit. But it was, I thought they did a pretty good job of having a conversation about games. And something like my show now, Game Ass Mornings, is pretty similar to the way that they do things. Now, I think ours is more informative and less sensational and doesn't have a lady. I remember there was the news lady, and it was always a hot lady with really, with her nipples poking out of her shirt and stuff. Like they were like playing that stuff up. And it's like, I could have done without sort of that treatment. But for a video game network in the 2000s, it was pretty cool, and I could watch E3 without having to worry about real player trying to buffer or whatever the fuck it was back then. So yeah, it was cool, and I liked it. And then I never watched any of the revival. Not really.
Was it G4 who were streaming the one Xbox E3 showcase when they're showing Halo 3? It was during the trailer, and for some reason we can hear like production's mic. You hear this one guy go, "Looks pretty good, huh?" And then you hear him start screaming as he's being told they're going to cut to commercial during the Halo 3 trailer. And then it does just cut to commercial.
I don't know if I've ever seen that, but that's
I
incredible.
think about that moment a lot.
That's incredible.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
He's trying to explain to some people, you can't cut to the commercial now. They're like, no, we have to cut. That's what the sponsors deals, it's contracts.
That was Sessler?
That was
Okay.
Sessler.
Oh, man, incredible.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right. Well, let's go with this one. From Winnie. Hello, Mike. Wait, okay, he says, hello, Mike. Wait, is this a question for Jeff Minotti? And Jeff, my time has come, Grubb. Have you read the Tag and Bink Star Wars comics? They're the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of Star Wars.
Oh, no. Are they like stormtroopers or
Mike, this is a question for me. I'm sorry. You're not allowed to answer it. No, I'm just joking, of course. I actually... I'm
getting on Reddit on my alt account. Did you guys ever notice that Jeff Grubb's actually really mean to Mike? And I don't think it's a funny joke.
Oh, man. I've never read these. Tag and Bink. Yeah, they're stormtroopers, it looks like.
They're stormtroopers. Okay. That's
That looks
interesting.
fine.
I mean, aren't R2-D2 and C-3PO already a little bit Rosen? I don't know. People always compare
Laurel and
Rosencrantz
Hardy
and Guildenstern, and then like I actually, you read Macbeth, they're not in it much. You actually have to like watch that movie about them, and it's real. I don't know. I bet it's a lot of
R2-D2 and
metaphors.
C-3PO are Laurel and Hardy. That's what they are.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
All right. Let's go with this one. This is a gamer issue. Batman asks, "Hello, Jeff. Fucking baby Yoda Grubb." Not like that. No. Fucking baby Yoda. Like that's
Yeah,
how.
there you go.
Yeah. And Mike,
phrasing.
And Mike, don't sass me, Minotti.
Don't.
Miyamoto visits your prison cell and offers you a deal with the devil himself. One game series will live and get a future entry starting immediately, but another must die forever. You will choose their fate. However, both of you must agree on a choice, or both series die. Oh, we got a prisoner's dilemma situation here.
Oh no!
Okay, yeah.
Oh shit!
Here, I'm gonna put them. Are you in the chat? Because I'll put them in the chat so you could just.
What? Damn it! What I was going to do is you're never going to agree with that. So what? We have to bring back one and kill one.
Yeah,
we have to kind of.
Wait,
cancel each other out.
Okay, so one game series will live and get a future entry started immediately, but another must die forever. You will choose their fate. However, both of you must agree on a choice, or both series die. So I think at least one of these we have to agree. So I'm gonna read them for the audio listeners while you make your decision, and I'll make my decision as I do it. Oh, okay. I think it's he's given. Okay, so here's how it's laid out, everybody. Option 1 is Golden Sun or Mario and Luigi. And so I think we got to choose. Okay, so we're gonna go
each of these.
So each of these. Okay, so
easier than I thought.
Right. So let's pick the one that's going to live, and the other one's going to die, and we'll do it on the count of 3. Okay.
Well, so to say the one to live on the count of 3.
Say the one that's going to live on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Mario and Luigi. Okay. All right. I love Golden Sun. Yeah, but Mario and Luigi. Come on. All right.
Oh no.
Mario RPG or Star Tropics?
You're not going to agree with me. What do I do?
Just hang on. Let me think.
Do I spitefully just throw it away? Okay, you ready?
Yes. 1, 2, 3. Star Tropics.
Mario RPG. What the fuck?
Oh, I thought you would do it. I wanted to give you Star Tropics.
You never won. You ruined everything. I tried to play it safe.
What did you do?
Well, because I knew you would never say Star Tropics, so I was like, well, I want to get something at least instead of nothing.
Star Tropics is dead.
Oh, Oh, so's
It's my
Mario RPG, apparently.
Fuck, what did we do?
All right, you overthought it as usual,
I'm just
Jeff.
like, listen, I got Mario on the Ouija. I'll live. Let's go. I'll try to get in Star Tropics. I'll try to do it for my friend Mike.
I can learn to like.
I can learn to love it.
All right. Hopefully we don't destroy any more beloved franchises.
All right, number 3, Star Fox or F-Zero.
Okay,
Well,
ready.
Okay. Hang on. I need to think about which one I want and just go with that. Okay. 1, 2, 3. F-Zero.
F-Zero.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Good.
All right. Oh man, this
Shit.
one's tough for me.
This is your hard one. This is your Sophie's choice or whatever. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You have to say what it is for the people, though.
Yeah. Oh yes. So we're choosing between Wave Race or Punch Out, everybody. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Punch Out.
Punch Out.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So listen, I love Wave Race, but I'll just play Wave Race 64 and be happy. Like that game's sort of
Yeah.
perfect as is. I almost kind of don't need another one. I would love if they made another one, but I don't need one. Punch Out, I think they just keep making those forever. Finally, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball or Eternal Darkness.
I gotta. Does Fuckface have to come back to make Eternal Darkness too? What's his name?
Dennis Dyack. No.
Okay, good.
All
He
right.
does have to come. All right.
1, 2, 3. Rusty's
Eternal
Real Deal
Darkness.
Baseball.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I was like, let's just go with it. Let's just actually. Part of me is kind of good killing both of these off.
fair enough. All right, the evil's defeated.
Evil's defeated. I can't believe we just destroyed Mario RPG and Star Tropics.
Yep. Hey, Star Tropics already dead. Mario RPG, there's a true tragedy there. I guess Mario RPG is also already
Also
dead.
quite dead.
Yes. Fuck.
Star Tropics 2, not on NSO also, by the way. That's a weird one.
Yep.
Like, just put that out there. Come on.
Yeah, that's weird. From Jedi Moss 4. Good evening, Jeff. 30 frames per second, Grubb. And Mike, 60 frames per second, Minotti. Wow, that's messed up.
Thank you very much. Can you believe that it's not even a consistent 30 FPS for Gotham Knights, by the way? on
I
console?
kind of can, and it's almost something of a relief, because it's like, oh, this is just them having issues, because they can't even get this game running at 30 frames per second. Of course they don't have a performance mode. There was no performance to put into a mode, so.
No.
Todd Howard talked last year how he prefers driving up the visual look of Bethesda games over frames and resolution, and feels comfortable releasing Bethesda games at 30 frames per second.
I believe that. I believe he does.
Yes. The
I've
footage
played their games.
Yes, the footage shown so far of Starfield has only been in 30 frames per second, and no promises have been made regarding frames. Is the world ready for Starfield at 30 frames per second on console? That's a good question. I wonder if there's still yet a performance mode in there. I would hope so. But, the spirit of the question, let's say there's only a 30 frames per second option on console. I think by then, for that game, if it's big enough, if the promises it delivers on are met, then I think they will mostly be ready for it. I'll still personally be frustrated.
Yeah, I'd be frustrated. I think maybe people will be slightly more forgiving. But I don't know. Like, the thing with Gotham Knights, even before we knew if the game was good or bad, this was definitely the loudest I've seen people be upset at a game targeting 30 frames per second with these new consoles and everything like that. And I really wonder if Microsoft, who's in charge, would actually be okay. I mean, granted, I guess Plague Tale is 30 frames per second, kind of a bit more low key, so maybe they are. I would be personally not very happy about that, Jeff.
Yeah, I would not blame you. That's it's frustrating.
I think they'd get away with it.
Yes, they would.
And I'd rather like that game, like that kind of game at 30 FPS makes more sense than a character action game like Gotham Knights, to be clear. But still, there is a part of me that's just like, I'm actually not gonna play your game if it's at 30 FPS. You could think that's snobby, whatever, but no, thank you.
Dr. Suss, we touched on some of the things in your question. I just want to read your nicknames here real quick because I'm vain. Hey, Jeff, every week closer to shaving his head, Grubb, and Mike got away with not shaving his beard on a technicality, Minotti.
Technicality is the truth.
Yeah,
like
that's the best reason not to shave your head. Yeah,
I will, in solidarity, shave the beard if Jeff has to shave his head.
Yeah, and we are getting much closer. There's another question that I passed over about Metroid Prime specifically. I'm going to give it another week, and if nothing gets announced next week, we'll start talking about that again, and we'll see where we're at. And yeah, if it doesn't come out this holiday, it is going to happen. The shaving of the head will commence. Jimmy Nintendo. Hey guys, why do you think prominent PC games like WoW, LoL, and Valorant have never made the jump to consoles? It seems like even substandard ports would still be highly profitable. Thanks. League of Legends Wild Rift exists. No one likes it, but
Yeah. Before the Warcraft, I think back in the day, that would have been kind of a hard proposition. I think they were very busy just being caught off guard with how popular it was and supporting the game to really think about a console version. And by the time maybe you could, I think that it was just too complex, like such a already old spaghetti code game, and trying to figure out how to get that on console. It may have just been too much. I'm sure that there have been attempts. I'm sure that they put teams to, like, see what can be done there, Jeff. And it's pretty easy to see why maybe that could never come together. Like, things like Final Fantasy 14, that could do it, but it's built from the ground up. From the very beginning, they are thinking about things like that. Console version, even then, it's pretty complicated.
Mhm.
It's impressive they can get that working. Trying to reverse engineer it onto something like World of Warcraft was always going to be nigh impossible.
I do think Valorant's going to be on console eventually. And Chris says he thought people do like Wild Rift. I have no idea. I just see memes of the PC Riot community joking about Wild Rift and calling it like the odd one out and the odd duck and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe people do like it. It probably is.
Which one is Wild Rift?
What's that?
Which one is Wild Rift?
That's just League of Legends on consoles.
Oh, right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
confusing.
Yeah. That does it for the questions from the podcast producers. If I didn't read your question this week, no, don't take it personally. We'll get back to I'll read some next week, and I'll try to pick yours out. Just trying to keep the show a little tighter going forward, everybody. Mike, should we take another break, or do you want to read some of the super chats that we got?
If you want to take one more break before the show ends, we can do that now. Otherwise, I can just go through these.
You know what? Let's hit it real quick.
Yeah, play that ad, baby.
Okay, there's that going.
Yeah.
We'll come right
State
back real
Farm.
quick, everybody. Yeah.
And you forgot to talk about, the banned word again. Did you guys? If you guys haven't seen that clip, that's funny.
Yeah, it's we're ending the show and the music's playing, and then Christian plays the I'm gonna come from me saying
Yeah,
it.
I said that's a banned word.
I think
He's
we're
allowed to do it on the.
Oh, that's the only way we're allowed to do it is
Yeah,
through the.
shame on you. You have to be
Grubb,
banned.
love,
You're on a
love,
30-second timeout now.
Yeah, okay, I'm here.
Yeah, you fucked up.
And eat
Yeah.
ass.
All right, Jeff, I absolve you early on good behavior.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's get back into this. All right, thanks for sitting through that ad, everybody. Let's get to Mike reading the rest of the super chats.
All right, yes, we got a few more in here. If you want to get yours in before we end the show, I would advise you do it now. The Andrew13 says, Mike, since you're from Y-Town, that means Youngstown for the cool people around here, what's your favorite lube wing flavor? That probably sounds weird to people. There's a chain here
Sounds
called
weird to my wife every time we drive past it. Yes.
Yeah, there's a chain in like Ohio and Pennsylvania called Quaker Steak and Lube that does not sell steak. They sell wings. Long story. Their barbecue sauce is good. I also like their Arizona Ranch a lot, which is like a slightly spicy ranch. Not really spicy, almost just, I don't know. It has like that flavor of like Frank's Red Hot sauce in it without a whole lot of spice.
Yeah.
Arizona Ranch is it's like an orange ranch, if that makes any sense. I like it.
When I was in Buffalo, went to the place that claims to be the original Buffalo wing place. So I went there. I did not get their original sauce. I got their original sauce with like the garlic seasoning in it or whatever, and it was really good. Garlic buffalo sauce is always my favorite. So yeah, whenever that's an option, I get that.
I worked at an even smaller kind of wing chain around here called an Inner Circle Pizza wing place. So I've actually fried a good amount of wings in my day and sauced them up and all that stuff. And it was funny how you have just your buffalo sauce, and you make it's like your mother's sauce. You make a lot of sauce. You put some minced garlic in their garlic sauce. You put a packet of Hidden Valley Ranch flavor, right? So yeah, you can do a lot with that, and it all tastes very good. I
worked at Wings Over Columbus near Ohio State campus. So if anyone is going to school at Ohio State and you get Wings Over Columbus, I used to deliver for them, and then I would have to clean all the dishes at night. And that's that. I worked there for a long time, and still until I did not check to see if someone was using a debit card, or if they had a debit card when they made their order, and I got fired because that was like a zero tolerance thing. I'm like, oh man, I'm too lazy to check that. So
oopsie doopsie. That's funny. The Andrew 13's in chat actually says that his favorites are golden garlic. I'm a big fan of all the kind of honey mustard-esque flavors
Sure,
these days. And then Louisiana liquor. A lot of people love that Louisiana liquor, which is another kind of barbecue saucy one. I was never the biggest fan of that. I just prefer their normal barbecue sauce for whatever reason. Next one here from Nintenderic. As a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series only game, how fast do you think Gotham Knights goes down in price? Will be as fast as games sometimes did last gen. I don't want to make too many assumptions about how it's going to sell or not. It's so hard to tell. I know, Jeff, you were saying, I think on Game this morning, it's like, doesn't this seem like something that might get like Game Pass early?
My stance there is Game Pass by January.
Game Pass by January. That sounds like a movie or something, like Game Pass by January coming this fall. I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Daily beatings. So sorry, do you have more to say?
No, I was just saying I wasn't sure if there was more super chats or not. So here we go.
Oh, there are, and you're gonna listen to them now. Like this one from Daily Beating, and you're gonna get your daily beating the next time I see you, and there's gonna be back pay.
Now I really am getting on Reddit now. Let's put you
Mike's
on
threatening to
cancel blast.
Mike's threatening to kill me in a wood chipper and beat me up. The Batman is dead thing, as the hook of the Gotham Knights immediately told me Batman is indeed not dead. Yeah, Jeff, we need to actually just like message somebody who reviewed this game and ask them. I need to know if Batman like comes back, and I need details
I can tell
about
you
that. Oh, good. Don't tell me, because like I'll react to it, and I don't want to spoil it for people yet. I don't care, and I bet a lot of people don't, but some people do. So
yep, fair enough.
We'll wait. But as before Jeff tells me, I'm 99% sure he comes back to life.
It's actually way funnier than that, but yeah, keep going. All right,
oh my god! I can't wait for you to tell me later. Slippery Moose Cake says, confirmed Samurai Jack game by the Coalition, please. Jeff, I could field that for you and unconfirm that. How about that?
Yeah,
unless you have something to tell me.
What was the question? I'm like,
he wants you to tell him that the Coalition is making a Samurai Jack game.
Oh yeah, totally.
Man, Samurai Jack like did come back from the past. Samurai Jack, no, like they had that new season not too long ago, and that's probably the last we'll hear from old Samurai Jack for a long time, I imagine.
Yeah, probably.
And then Nick S says, "Hey guys, what's your favorite video game remake?" I mean, that means so many things. Final Fantasy VII Remake was so ridiculously good. That one is popping to my mind immediately. Actually, I like the Shadow of the Colossus remake a lot, just because I like Shadow of the Colossus. And that's one of those things where, in my mind, that game did look like that on PlayStation 2, and then you look at it, it's like, oh, yeah, this game's like running at 15 frames per second. Oh, Zero Mission is a good one.
Nick TG in chat says Zero Mission. I think that's probably my answer. I'm like trying to remember anything else that I really actually love. I don't know if I love. You know what? Resident Evil 2 remake.
Resident Evil 2 was very good.
It's actually really good. Yeah, it is.
Insanely high quality, actually. And I like the way it doesn't replace the original. Like, they still feel like different and worthwhile experiences, just riffing on similar ideas. So yeah, I will probably say Final Fantasy VII remake still. Link's Awakening remake. I know. See, I like that.
I do. Like
I would also just be fine playing the original one still. Oh, 1+2 was very good. That's true.
Man, that's a real good one. Those are actually both Link's Awakening. I'm glad it exists, and I will play it many times more in my life. But I will also. I was actually just getting my Zelda Game & Watch out tonight to play Link's Awakening. So yeah, that's the original.
Like Activision Blizzard was making a ton of good ones for a while there until everything got sacrificed to the Call of Duty machine. Like Insane
Live Alive is a good one.
Reignited. Yeah. Live Alive, very good. Super Mario 64 DS, I'd much rather play the original for that.
But people plays Wario.
Yeah, that's fun, but you also have to play on a D-pad or a touchscreen, and no thanks. Oh, Soul Silver, Heart Gold. That's a good answer too, MN Goldie. That's it. Although B2, gosh, how am I supposed to? B Tot Head. Let's go. B Tot Head to subscribe to the channel. Oh, subscribe. That's not joining. That's always confusing. Thanks for subscribing, anyways. Nobody else gets caught up for subscribing, but you do.
You're special.
But you do. All right, Jeff. That's that.
Cool. You been playing anything?
Gosh, have I been playing anything? I mean, I was playing a lot of Alan Wake still, and I remastered the one that just came to Switch, but the PC version that looks pretty good. I did like that game a lot. That was a very good
Yeah, I'm glad to hear
spooky
that.
season game. Like it, it has things like jump scares and like whatnot, but there's no, it doesn't have mutilation and the kinds of things like that really off put me from this stuff sometimes. In fact, I was making the wood chipper joke. Then I was like, what did happen to the woman? And I was like actually reading the synopsis of Fargo and actually got bummed out for a bit. I was like, they were too mean to that person in that movie. That was a really cruel, slow, drawn out death for this person. So
Yep.
like that's where I am with this stuff. But Alan Wake is just kind of fun. It's definitely much more like Shining in terms of horror, right?
Yeah.
In terms of body count, like in Shining, like what one person actually does die. It's not a very gruesome movie, really. It's just kind of freaky and spooky, and those are the vibes. If you're not going to just do like fun, spooky, like Luigi's Mansion, if you want to be an adult horror game, and that's the kind of thing that I do like. Actually, is this Alan Wake style?
That's fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's nice to go back to one of these and actually have a good hit. So
Yeah, and even like when people complain about like, oh, the combat gets repetitive, and they're like technically right. You do the same thing all the time in combat. You flash the light on people and you shoot them. But I never got bored of it. I don't know. I thought it was fun. They did a good job of like escalating the encounters. You were fighting a lot of the same enemies, but it always felt, I don't know, fresh to a degree in terms of just the scale of it, increasing the difficulty, what equipment layout you had. That's a really fun game. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to, really. And people are saying I should play the DLC, so I think I will do that next week at some point before our discussion, because apparently the DLC chapters are good and they actually continue the story in a meaningful way. And it's great because now I can actually be excited for Alan Wake 2. So
yeah, that's
pretty
fun.
happy.
That's very cool.
How about you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I played a little bit more PGA Tour. I talked about that on the Bombcast. I'm really enjoying it. It's just kind of delivering on what I need from a golf game, which is the pretty vistas. And I like the new method, which has been pretty standard for several years now, of the analog input for your swing. It is a lot less reliable. I shank things pretty one out of every 20 shots is a shank, because I'm still getting used to the swing mechanics. But it feels like there's as many variables in this motion of bringing down the stick and then pushing it forward as there is in a real golf swing. And I I actually have to physically get better at this game to perform better. And I just, I really like looking at the layout, trying to predict what's going to happen to the ball, and trying to going with my gut. If I hit it over there and it bounces off this relatively hard patch of rough, I bet it'll bounce on the green. And sort of just going with your gut and realizing, oh, that's exactly what happened. That's a real good feeling. And this game captures that stuff as well as it needs to be a successful golf game. Yeah, Sims are fun. And then I've also been playing Gotham Knight, which we talked about a little bit. I've played 2 hours-ish. I was going to play more, but it doesn't work on Steam Deck, at least not yet. I got an update today. I'll check again. It was not working on Steam Deck, at least. And it's if I can't play it on Steam Deck, I am probably not going to be playing it anymore. That's just kind of, it's just not going to work out. I guess I could stream it to the Steam Deck, but we'll see. I think it's fine. I think I'll probably be able to play it for 5-6 hours to get my fill and be like, okay, I get this. And then, read the rest of the synopsis of the story somewhere. Although I have heard how it ends, or at least one of the ending parts of it, which is how I know what happens. But yeah, I'm probably not going. There's no way I'm going to beat this game. I've heard it's pretty long. A lot of people are doing reviews in progress specifically because it's more than 25 hours, I guess. So I'm like, that's too much.
Honestly, at first we even had a score on our review, and Rachel, I'm sorry, I don't know how much you're okay be revealing the process, but I'm doing it anyways. And I was like, maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. I am good with just playing scores on games I don't beat. A lot of people aren't though, and
people freak out about it.
People freak out, and I was like, I was like, let's just not.
It is the score that we gave at GameSpeed. The system we have is not a score of the game. It's a score that reflects our feelings about the game. And that, to me, that always felt like, well, I can tell you that right now, but people do not view it that way. It's a sport to them, and the sport has to have fair rules and referees, and it has to be played in a certain way. And it's whatever. I try to beat every game I review and put a score on. That's true about
the referees. Sparks of Hope, I did not give it a score. It's a 4 out of 5 on our scale. But I just can't because people get mad at me. So it's like, and you know what? don't really care that much.
Exactly.
So I'm not
So,
gonna
yeah, right.
put
No-
myself in the firing line.
Exactly, for sure. That's how I feel too. And then there was something else, and now I can't. Let me just double check before I make sure I'm.
Ooh, something else fun.
Let me see what else is coming out this week.
I did have a. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was playing God of War, but Shovel Knight Dig, I've stopped playing it. I don't know if I'm gonna go back. I wanted to really love it, but I'm like, I don't even think there's no specific issue. I just think I didn't get onboarded to the loop fast enough. Like I could see the loop, but it just wasn't like, oh, I am getting the reward or the dopamine hit from doing the loop exactly quite yet. I feel like I'm like probably like 1 hour away from unlocking something that makes it like, okay, now we're really getting to the swing of things. Maybe at some point I'll go back, but I'm just not feeling the pull, and I'm a little bit annoyed by that because I'm like, I bet this game is going to be really good if I just stuck with it. I watched Dan play, and he was having a great time, and I'm like, this looks like a great time. But I do have Sparks of Hope sitting on that Switch, and I haven't really started playing it, so I'm probably going to do that first, and then maybe I'll check back in on Dig.
I still need to try it. I feel like I should like it. That's a little worrisome. There's also a part of me though, like with that, and we had Pocket Dungeon. I know it wasn't; those aren't made by like the main team, but part of me it's like, you know what I really want from Shovel Knight is Shovel Knight 2, more so than playing like spin-offy things, or even I know that they're done making the DLC campaigns. That's really what I want. So like I there's only so excited I can get and eager to try these things. Like it took me forever to try Pocket Dungeon. And when I did, I kind of bounced off it pretty fast.
Yeah. Napper says Shovel Knight 64. I would love that. I'm ready for Mina the Follower.
I'm very excited for
Mina the Hollower. Excuse me. Yeah, that's going to be good.
How dare you call her a follower?
I know, right? Mina the Leader, maybe.
That's right.
All right, Mike. Let's wrap this show up.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell
got
people?
one more super chat.
Oh yeah, read
came in from Ariel Delgado. Can you play Seabat? Can't sleep without it.
No, the YouTube content ID will come for us. Seabat.
What's Seabat?
Seabat is dun, 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 dun. It's the one that the guy fucked to.
Oh, that thing. Oh no,
Yes.
I hate that. Yeah, no, sorry, we cannot. You're gonna
Now
have
I
to
wanna
just
play it
stay
'cause
up
you
all
hate it.
night. You get to stay up all night
Yeah.
now. Sorry, Ariel. What?
Where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, Twitch, Twitter, Toe. That is where I'm at. Who's on Game S Mornings tomorrow? Jeff, we got Tam tomorrow or someone else?
Should be Tam. I should double check to make sure he can do it. Let me double check. If he can't, would you mind coming in last minute?
Oh, I'd love to be your last minute boy.
All right, thank you, last minute boy. Noter J in chat says every time Mike asks what's CBAT, you have asked every time it's come up. You've asked what is it.
I believe that.
Mikey, can you play it on the flute? That'd be pretty fun if you learned that.
I can. I'm playing it perfectly right now, but you can't hear.
Yeah,
because of
exactly right.
Discord.
I'm Jeff Grubb on Twitch and on Twitter, of course. You know what? Join the Discord. Come hang out with us there. The Discord continues to just be a really great place to hang out. It is one of those things where I'm at work and I just see, there's people playing games in a voice channel, or there's people having great conversations in a number of the text channels all day, every day. So come hang out with us there. And then if you can, support us on the Patreon. Patreon continues to grow. If we get to 300 patrons, we're not quite there. I think we're about almost at 200. If we get to 300, we'll do a Columbo podcast, everybody. So maybe we do a pledge drive here at some point and try to get to that. Who knows?
That'll be fun. Yeah, that'd be good. Are we just gonna go? What do you think that would be? Like, just go episode by episode chronologically and just do a show for each episode?
I wouldn't mind that at all. I think that'd be pretty fun. Yeah, they don't have to be long episodes. It could be like, who knows? Maybe they can't be when episodes. We'll see. It's when we're 300 patrons, that feels like a pretty big step up in terms of support. So we could justify a lot there.
You give me money, I do things.
That's how it works, everybody. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, The Rock. Good luck with your movie.
2 words.
I was like, this is new. Where's this going? You have to make it 2 words. Enjoy your gaming
Jeff Grubb is dead.
Okay.
2 words. Enjoy